Gaming journalism is one of the most important mediators between developers and players. It shapes expectations, guides purchases, and informs the public debate about what games mean culturally. Yet recently, many players feel betrayed by the very people tasked with critiquing games.
You know you done fucked it up! You done fucked it up! You fucked it up! You done fucked it up! You done fucked it up!
Music licensing reimagined.
Today we'll explore 3 revealing cases where game journalism misses the mark. Ideological bias in the critique of Doom Eternal, promotional spin in Dragon Age the Veilguard, and basic incompetency in Cuphead. Let's start with Doom Eternal, a game celebrated for its relentless action and unapologetic old-school violence. In 2020, Persephone van der Waard published a review titled Doom Eternal 2020 Review, No Girls or Trans People Allowed. Van der Waard argued that the game excluded women and transgender people, reinforcing harmful and traditional gender roles. Quote, in Doom Eternal, the one human female character is an invisible cheerleader lusting after the protagonist while enforcing traditional gender roles. This quote itself demonstrates the lack of understanding that the author has about the game, because in my 20 hours of playing Doom Eternal's campaign, I never encountered anything even at least a little bit adjacent to what the author is referring to. And Doom Eternal isn't even a narrative-driven game with social commentary as a core element in the first place. It's a high-speed shooter about demons and destruction, not a platform for identity politics. Many players and critics pushed back against Van der Waard's reading. They felt the review imposed a political agenda onto a game that never intended to explore those themes. This case highlights a broader tension in game criticism. Should reviewers interpret games primarily through their personal political lenses, or assess them within their own creative and mechanical context? It's a difficult question, but imposing outside narratives risks misrepresenting the game and alienating players who simply want to enjoy the experience as designed. Next, consider Dragon Age the Veilguard, released in 2024, a much-anticipated RPG from BioWare. IGN's Leanna Hafer gave it a near-perfect 9 out of 10 score, praising it as a quote-unquote triumphant return with emotional storytelling and deep character development. Quote, Dragon Age the Veilguard refreshes and reinvigorates this storied series with enjoyable action combat, a fantastic cast of companions, and movable character writing. Yet the fanbase reaction was far from unanimous praise. Many longtime players felt the Veilguard had shifted away from the franchise's darker, more mature storytelling to a lighter, more cartoonish tone. Critics pointed out significant changes in art style, gameplay pacing, and political messaging that weren't addressed in IGN's review.
Veilguard is the burnt steak of RPGs, as if all the tasty, juicy BioWare goodness has been cooked out of the company. It's like they forgot their own recipe. Whatever semblance of Dragon Age there remained in Inquisition, it's all sucked out here. It has lost all darkness, grit, realism, and intensity it once had. I'm not exaggerating when I say that between 2003 and 2011, BioWare was top of their class. They were best in slot for the RPG genre. Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, the big 3. It's funny that with the first Dragon Age, BioWare had actually taken inspiration from the Baldur's Gate series. And how ironic it is that BioWare would turn their back on this successful and proven style of RPG, and now it's Larian who have picked up the torch and are running with it. I mean, wow, can you even believe it? That's the 3rd RPG in this style that's won Game of the Year.
Moreover, the review was published very early, possibly based on preview builds, during a period when BioWare and EA had close editorial relationships with media outlets. This led to accusations that the glowing review was less about journalistic integrity and more about promotional influence, a practice called advertorial or marketing masquerading as journalism. The Veilguard case illustrates the conflict between maintaining publisher access and delivering honest criticism. When reviewers become too cozy with publishers, critical balance often suffers, and readers lose faith. Finally, let's look at a glaring example of competency disconnect: Dean Takahashi's 2017 Cuphead gameplay demo. Cuphead is a notoriously difficult platformer that demands precision jumping, dashing, and timing. Takahashi, a veteran journalist with decades of gaming experience, posted a video where he repeatedly failed to master the tutorial mechanics. Quote, "I've played video games for 25 years, and yet for some reason, Cuphead's tutorial really threw me off." This video sparked ridicule and frustration across gaming communities. Many saw it as emblematic of a growing rift between media figures and their audience. If a reviewer struggles with a game's basic controls, how can they fairly evaluate its difficulty or design? How can they credibly critique without understanding core mechanics? It also raised the question about how seriously game journalists take their own craft. Is it enough to be a media personality, or must reviewers also be skilled players? The Cuphead episode also, hilariously enough, became a meme, but behind the laughs was a serious conversation about journalistic responsibility and credibility. These examples reveal three critical failures in modern gaming journalism. A. Imposing personal agendas where they don't belong. B. Offering promotional, uncritical praise in place of honest analysis. And C. Failing to master the games they're meant to review. The result? A fractured media landscape where the trust between critics and players is eroding. Games deserve thoughtful, skilled criticism that respects the medium and the audience. If journalism wants to survive in the age of instant feedback and gamer scrutiny, it must do better for all of us.